suit him. Anyway, just so's he got a bet, he was satisfied. But still he was lucky, uncommon lucky. He most always come out winner. He was always ready and layin' for a chance. There couldn't be no solitary thing mentioned but what that feller'd offer to bet on it. And take any side you please, as I was just telling you. If there was a horse race, you'd find him flush or you'd find him busted at the end of it. If there was a dog fight, he'd bet on it. If there was a cat fight, he'd bet on it. If there was a chicken fight, he'd bet on it. Why, if there was two birds settin' on a fence, he would bet you which one would fly first. Or if there was a camp meetin', he would be there regular to bet on Parson Walker, which he judged to be the best exhorter about here. And so he was, too, and a good man. If he even see a straddle-bug start to go anywheres, he would bet you how long it would take him to get wherever he was going to. And if you took him up, he would follow that straddle-bug to Mexico, but what he would find out where he was bound for and how long he was on the road. Lots of the boys here has seen that Smiley and can tell you about him. Why, it never made no difference to him. He would bet on anything. The dangdest feller. Parson Walker's wife laid very sick once for a good while, and it seemed as if they weren't going to save her. But one morning he come in, and Smiley asked him how she was, and he said she was considerable better, thank the Lord for his infinite mercy, and comin' on so smart that with the blessing of Providence she'd get well yet. And Smiley, before he thought, says, "Well, I'll risk 2.5 that she don't anyway." This year Smiley had a mare. The boys called her the 15-minute nag. But that was only in fun, you know, because of course she was faster than that. And he used to win money on that horse, for all she was so slow and always had the asthma or the distemper or the consumption or something of that kind. And they used to give her 200 or 300 yards start and then pass her underway. But always at the fag end of the race she'd get excited and desperate-like and come cavortin' and spraddlin' up and scatterin' her legs around limber, sometimes in the air and sometimes out to one side amongst the fences, and kickin' up more dust and raisin' more racket with her coughin' and sneezin' and blowin' her nose, and always fetch up at the stand just about a neck ahead, as near as you could cipher it down. And he had a little small bull pup that, to look at him, you'd think he warn't worth a cent, but to set around and look ornery and lay for a chance to steal something. But as soon as money was up on him, he was a different dog. His underjaw'd begin to stick out like the forecastle of a steamboat, and his teeth would uncover and shine savage like the furnaces, and a dog might tackle him and bullyrag him and bite him and throw him over his shoulder 2 or 3 times, and Andrew Jackson, which was the name of the pup, Andrew Jackson would never let on but what he was satisfied, and hadn't expected nothing else. And the bets being doubled and doubled on the other side all the time till the money was all up, and then all of a sudden he would grab that other dog just by the joint of his hind legs and freeze to it. Not chaw, you understand, but only just grip and hang on till they throwed up the sponge if it was a year. But Smiley always came out winner on that pup, till he harnessed a dog once that didn't have no hind legs, because they'd been sawed off in a circular saw. And when the thing had gone along far enough and the money was all up and he came to make a snatch for his pet Holt, he saw in a minute how he'd been imposed on and how the other dog had him in the door, so to speak, and he 'peared surprised. And then he looked sort of discouraged-like, and didn't try no more to win the fight, and so he got shucked out bad. He gave Smiley a look as much as to say his heart was broke, and it was his fault for putting up a dog that hadn't no hind legs for him to take hold of, which was his main dependence in a fight. And then he limped off a piece and laid down and died. It was a good pup, was that